Most people think that turning 50 means slowing down, giving up, or quietly fading into the background. But what if I told you that some of the smartest, happiest, and most successful people over 50 are secretly following habits that no one talks about? Habits that keep them sharp, confident, and ahead of everyone else. These are not loud habits. They are quiet, almost invisible, but incredibly powerful. And the truth is, once you notice them, you start seeing them everywhere. So today, we are going to uncover 5 habits that people over 50 secretly follow, and why they make such a huge difference. The first habit is something very few people admit openly. People over 50 learn to say no without guilt. When you are younger, you feel the need to please everyone. You say yes to things you do not want to do. You agree to plans that drain your energy. You stay in relationships that do not serve you. But after 50, something shifts. They begin to realize that time is limited, energy is precious, and peace of mind is non-negotiable. So they start saying no, calmly, politely, and without long explanations. They do not argue, they do not overthink, and they definitely do not feel guilty. If someone invites them to something they are not interested in, they simply say, "I cannot make it." No drama, no excuses. If a person brings negativity into their life, they quietly distance themselves. And here is the powerful part. They understand that every time they say no to something that drains them, they are saying yes to something that matters more. This one habit alone creates a massive difference in their happiness. The second habit is even more surprising. They stop chasing approval. For most of life, people are obsessed with what others think. They want validation from friends, family, colleagues, and even strangers. But after 50, many people realize something important. No matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. You could be perfect, and someone would still find a problem. So they let go. They stop trying to impress everyone. They stop explaining every decision. They stop seeking permission to live their own life. Instead, they begin to trust themselves. They wear what they like. They do what feels right. They make decisions based on their own values, not on other people's expectations. And ironically, this makes them more respected. Because confidence that comes from within is far more powerful than approval from others. The third habit is deeply personal, and most people never talk about it. People over 50 learn to enjoy their own company. When you are younger, being alone often feels uncomfortable. You constantly need distractions, conversations, or noise. But as people grow older, they begin to appreciate silence. They start enjoying simple moments, sitting alone with a cup of tea, going for a walk, or just thinking without interruptions. They no longer feel the need to fill every moment with activity. They understand that solitude is not loneliness. It is clarity. In these quiet moments, they reflect on life. They process their emotions. They gain insights that are impossible to find in a noisy environment. And because of this, they become emotionally stronger. They are less dependent on others for happiness, and more connected to themselves. The fourth habit is something that looks small, but has a huge impact. They take care of their health, but in a smarter way. Younger people often go to extremes. They follow strict diets, intense workout routines, or sudden lifestyle changes that are hard to maintain. But people over 50 focus on consistency, not intensity. They understand that small, daily actions matter more than big, short-term efforts. They walk regularly, instead of pushing themselves to exhaustion. They eat balanced meals, instead of chasing trends. They prioritize sleep, because they know it affects everything. And most importantly, they listen to their body. If they feel tired, they rest. If something feels off, they pay attention. This balanced approach keeps them healthier, more energetic, and mentally sharp. The fifth habit is perhaps the most powerful of all. They let go of things they cannot control. This includes past mistakes, other people's behavior, and situations that are beyond their influence. When you are younger, you tend to hold on to everything. You replay past events in your mind. You overthink what could have been done differently. You stress about things that may never even happen. But after 50, many people realize that this is a waste of energy. They accept that the past cannot be changed. They accept that not everything will go according to plan. and they accept that some things are simply out of their hands. So they shift their focus. Instead of worrying about what they cannot control, they focus on what they can control, their actions, their mindset, and their reactions. This habit brings a sense of peace that is hard to describe. It reduces stress, improves mental clarity, and allows them to live in the present moment. Now, here is where things get interesting. These 5 habits may seem simple, but together, they create a completely different way of living. A life that is calmer, stronger, and more fulfilling. But there is something even deeper behind all of this. People over 50 have experienced enough of life to understand what truly matters. They have faced failures, losses, successes, and unexpected turns. And through all of that, they have learned lessons that cannot be taught in books. They understand that life is not about impressing others. It is about being at peace with yourself. They understand that time is limited, so they choose carefully how they spend it. They understand that happiness is not something you chase. It is something you create, through small, intentional choices every day. And here is the truth that most people ignore. You do not have to wait until you are 50 to start following these habits. You can start today. You can start saying no to things that do not align with your priorities. You can stop seeking approval from people who do not truly understand you. You can learn to enjoy your own company, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. You can take care of your health in a sustainable way, and you can let go of things that are outside your control. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you will feel the difference. But let me be honest with you. These habits are not easy in the beginning. Saying no can feel uncomfortable. Letting go of approval can feel scary. Being alone can feel strange. Taking care of your health requires discipline. And letting go of control can feel impossible. But every habit becomes easier with practice. And over time, they become a natural part of who you are. Now imagine this. Imagine waking up without feeling pressured to please everyone. Imagine making decisions based on what feels right for you. Imagine enjoying your own company without feeling lonely. Imagine having the energy to do what you love. And imagine living without constant stress about things you cannot control. That is the kind of life these habits create. And the best part is, it is completely within your reach. So the next time you meet someone over 50 who seems calm, confident, and genuinely happy, pay attention. Chances are, they are quietly following these habits. They are not trying to show it. They are not talking about it. But it is there, shaping their life in ways that most people do not even notice. And now, you know their secret. The question is, what will you do with it? Will you continue living the same way, waiting for life to teach you these lessons the hard way? Or will you take a step today, and start building a life that feels lighter, clearer, and more in your control? Because at the end of the day, it is not about age. It is about awareness. And once you become aware, everything begins to change.